Peace. Bam. Oh, trying to hold this at the same time. Happy now, of course. Now is the vibe rate. We're not going too far in the future. We're not going too far in the past. But we're right now. Right now is the vibe rate. Better get it straight. If you can relate, go on a date with your higher self. Put your ego on the shelf. Lord. Happy now, y'all. So, want to speak on pendulums. Pendulums. As a matter of fact, as you can see already, you notice something. My pendulum, it has a little, its lopsided, is uneven. And I'm pretty sure you could ask, well, will your pendulum still work if it's, if it has like a little crack on it? And that situation may vary, but basically what happened was beginning, and this is why I'm doing a video on pendulums. I've kind of I worked with a pendulum in the recent past, but I remember when I first began in spirituality, to kind of give a little background story of me dealing with it, like with a lot of things in spiritual, before I really got into magic, like a lot of these little divination things like pendulums and I changed just different little things of that nature. Like I was just like skeptical of to a certain extent, and which honestly, looking back at it, is only skeptical because it's your ego. The ego still has too much of control over the way you perceive things. So it's like, oh man, that can't work. You know what I'm saying? Because you're still in that 3D mind frame of situations. But as I kept seeing the omens of using one, like seeing other people around me use them, and just again like little signs where there was videos popping up about it or people bringing it up in the conversation. I'm like, all right, universe, I hear you. It's time for me to get a pendulum, and that's how I am too. It's like, I'ma not rock with something, if I'm feeling like, if that's me, if I don't feel like, like how I wasn't rocking with them, but then once the universe showed, like, all right, not only this some real stuff, but you should get one. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, cool, definitely gonna get one. But man, honestly, this is the second one I ever had. But man, the accuracy on this one, it was very surreal from the start. So I'm like, oh man, I gotta keep this one. And down to the fact where after it chipped, and I asked it, I was like, will this chip affect the answers? And it gave me a no, like the chip on here will not affect. Because too, I kind of saw how like the weight of it just hangs from, I don't know, from the solidity of the base at the top of it, and like not so much at the bottom part. And two, keeping it real about magic, like you want to keep things somewhat in the realistical logic feel of the 3D matrix, but you also want to know you're a magical being, goddammit. And a little chip won't stop a pendulum from answering yes or no questions for this is the omnipresent source, that runs through us and everything. I'm pretty sure it could get a pendulum to answer a question with a chip on it, you know what I'm saying? But you still want to, make sure though, because again, like I question, I'm like, all right, will you be able to handle this workload? Will you be able to answer questions correctly with this chip? And it gave me the right answer. But I just want to get into a few things about the pendulum, a little bit about programming it. Well, for one, you want the chain to be about 6 to 8 inches. And as far as what your pendulum is made out of, this one is a tiger's eye. I figure, answers about manifesting abundance. And that's the thing, like how maybe it's certain answers you want, certain questions you want answered or whatever, like just dealing with business and abundance. So, it would be cool to get, a tiger's eye or pyrite pendulum if they had a pyrite. I never seen a pyrite pendulum. But, if I'm asking the questions about love, I would get a rose quartz pendulum, whatever the case may be. But you could get whatever, you know, whatever kind of pendulum you see fit, you know what I'm saying? But dog is but anyway, the pendulum too is about just like how picking out crystals, like whatever, you know, when you go to pick out a pendulum, whatever gravitates towards you. Now I do like the ones that kind of have like some of them have like a ball shaped crystal and then a metal pointy tip, or some of them will be like a stack of like a row of different color crystals in a disc, but also with that metal bottom. But like I like the ones with the metal bottom sometimes have a better centering than just the regular crystals, because too it may depend on the crystal. Some crystals have a different density, so it will have a different weight in essence, you know, because I don't know, it's just something, you want something that's you know, in essence not easily moved, you know. Because another thing which I get into is dealing with conditions where, you know, the wind blow, you know, if it could be blown by the easy, like a small breeze, you know, then you know, you want something a little, again, not extremely heavy, but, you know, with a little weight to it. But which most pendulums are made out of something that, you know, takes care of the job, you know. But one of the things, first and foremost, you know, as far as when you're buying it, like just like a crystal, anything, you want to clear it, you know, clear the negativity, clear it of all unbeneficial energies. You know, you could allow for the beneficial energies to remain. So I mean, like any outside energies that, you know, they outside and let's say alien to your auric field, but it still may be beneficial to your auric field, then you could kind of keep those energies in there, but however you want to do. But, you know, you clear it out, you know, saging it, whatever. And then next, you want to program it, in essence, to basically you want to just hold it and, in essence, tell it that, I'm trying to think of how to frame this. Like, I only want the divine truth of the infinite source, you know, to pass through this pendulum. You know, I only want answers from, you know, divine source, for, you know, answers and truth or knowledge from divine source, you know, however you want to word it, but just in some type of manner, you know, you want to kind of affirm that, hey, I want only source vibration, only truthful vibes to pass through this pendulum. And also on top of that, which honestly, which is probably just as important as the first part of the affirmation, is making sure, like, basically telling the pendulum, like, whatever I believe and think has no effect over the answer, you know. So no matter what I'm feeling, so you know how, like, say for instance, because what we focus on grows. So if I ask the pendulum, should I go to the grocery store right now, you know, and my ego, like on a physical, egotistical level, like, man, I really want to eat some snacks or something. Like, I really want to go to the grocery store and eat some snacks. You know, when I'm asking that question, you know, that my feeling of really wanting to go to the store won't affect the pendulum. That way the pendulum could really give me a real answer and be like, no, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't go because you overly hungry for it and thirsting for it. So no, you shouldn't go, you know, compared to where, you know, if you didn't kind of, if you didn't guide your pendulum, your thoughts and your focus could influence the answers you get. Because another thing too, when I ask questions, like, I like to close my eyes for a nice little second to make sure my eyesight not guiding, you know, not guiding the way it swings or whatever. You know, I kind of just close my eyes and keep my head straight. But again, you want to ask for the divine source, you know, the infinite knowledge, the infinite truthfulness of source, you know, only infinite truth to pass through this pendulum, you know, through the answers, and to make sure that your beliefs and what you think, you know what I'm saying, all your, you know, what you focus on, beliefs, any of that cannot influence the answers of this pendulum. You know what I'm saying? You know, you want to state those things. And then, you know, after that, you want to move into figuring out what's the yes, no questions. I mean, yes or no answers. Now, you could either, you know, hold a pendulum. And another thing, too, which this is something I just learned in another video about, like, making sure, too, whether you're standing or sitting, that your arms and your feet are not crossing. Because again, you know, remember, your left side of your body is connected to your right brain, right side of your body connected to your left brain. And, you know, it's almost like crossing the yin and yang energies in your body, and that could mess with the answers. As well as also paying attention to like the crystal jewelry you're wearing or the environment you're in. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's maybe too noisy or too much other crystals or something, you know, energies that maybe could sway, like, you know, the answer to your pendulum. Or like, say for instance, even like the wind blowing, being outside, like make sure the wind not blowing too much. But and you want to make sure, you know, you centering yourself. You know, hold it whether your left or your right hand, it doesn't matter. I hold mine in my right hand. You know, and you want to basically, you know, hold it. Could either hold it too. It's good to have like the little ball on it. See, like the little ball kind of helps for a better little swing to it. But you know, you want to hold it, get it stationary, and then you, like, say for instance, so to see what a yes or no question is, you could try. There's two methods. You could be like, show me a yes answer, and you just hold it. You see, like right now, the wind blowing, so it's not, you know, it's not doing so. Right now, it's not a perfect example for me to show y'all, you know what I'm saying, because the wind is blowing out here. But basically, say for instance, you say show me a yes answer, it may rock forward and back, or it may rock side to side. It may go in a clockwise motion or counterclockwise. You know, just pay attention to that. And or you could, and again, you could say show me a yes, you know, and then, you know, clear it. All right, pendulum, and talk to it just like as a person, you know, in essence, like, all right, pendulum, you know, next question. All right, pendulum, show me a yes, you know, like talk, you know, like these energies is real, like, you know, stop letting outsiders or the world of, you know, thinking you're crazy, the world perceiving that you're crazy when you're dealing with these energies or talking to these energies or talking to your crystals or a plant or something like that. Like, they talk back. So regardless to how unconnected other people are, you know, and look at how, you know, you keeping yourself down because of somebody else disconnection. Like, just because they disconnected don't mean, you know, gotta hide your connection. I talk to my pendulum. I be sitting down in public places like, all right, pendulum, closing my eyes and doing the work. But you know, you could say show me a yes answer, or you could ask an obvious yes answer, like you know, is it true that, you know, let's say, did my mom name me Carl Ray? You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Is this a piece of garnet? You know, or is this a piece of selenite? You know, like obvious questions. And then you see which way it goes, and whichever way it goes, you could basically see that, all right, this must be a yes. But, you know, test it more than once, you know, to make sure. But again, you could either do that method or just be like, show me a yes, you know, show me a no. And also two other ones, you know, also like show me a rephrase the question or show me a refusal to answer, you know. And that may be where it may not move, or it may move sporadically, like where it seems like it's moving in between a yes and a no answer, you know. But you want to establish those situations first and foremost. But, you know, on the simplicity of the situation, that's basically it. And I mean, again, you know, centering yourself, making sure it's clear, you know, before using it. Making sure you affirm that only source vibration, truthful, divine, infinite knowledge of source, you know, move through this pendulum, and that, you know, my beliefs or the, you know, thought forms or what I focus on will not affect the answers of this pendulum. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, affirm that, you know. But, and again, you know, pendulum, you know, feet flat on the ground, you know, arms not crossing, legs not crossing, you know, get it to a stationary, you know, state. Ask your question. Pendulum, should I end this video right now? For mine, it's side to side for a yes answer. Should I end this video now, Pendulum? Yes. And see another thing too. So it's time to end the video. But like even with the wind blowing, you know, that's another thing too, man. The divine moves through everything, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, the wind might be giving you your answer in essence too, you know. So think about that. Let me see. Matter of fact, let's test it out because the wind kind of moving all kind of ways. So let's see. X again. Should I end this video right now? I always like to close my eyes. Side to side again. So this is time to end the video. But that's just the, you know, basics, you know. Get you you know, basically get you started and ready to go. I mean, anything more than what I just said, you know, just be, you know, extra information, which extra information is good, you know. But I just want to just kind of briefly speak on it, just to, you know, give you enough information to where you could go in emotions of getting your pendulum and starting with one, you know, basically. But, you know, let's see, I had one more thing. See what's going on. I said that be aware of your crystal jewelry, or the environment you're in, you know. Also be precise with your question, you know, letting the pendulum know. Like again, I in between questions, like, all right, pendulum, new question. Can I be divine? Can I be divine while eating whatever I want to, eating whatever food I want? Can I still be divine? I said yes. But I digress. But too, I want to make a video about that too. Honestly, but that's it, you know. Get y'all pendulum, man. You know, get to asking those questions, you know. What's funny, as little kids, you know, we ask, most of us, I ain't gonna say, let me speak for some of us, but I know some of my brethren and sisters, you know, when we was out in the schoolyard, in elementary school, matter of fact, shout out to Opelousas and South Street Elementary, you know, the kittens, which you used to laugh about that. But, you know, what I was gonna say. See, we used to always, you know, want superpowers and all this since kids, you know, we wanted to be psychic and be like the Power Rangers and be like Ryu and Ken and throw stuff out of our hands and all this. Well, you know, now's the time for us to connect with this divination, you know, be like Harry Potter or like Ash Ketchum with the Pokemon. Well, you know, not Pokemon, but yeah, but you know, like that divination, you know, that connection to source, you know, and being able to get those psychic type, you know, of answers to things is in your hands. You know, you just gotta believe in it and work with it, you know. But definitely first and foremost is trusting and believing in it, you know. But happy now. Now's the vibrate, of course. Not too far in the future. Not too far in the past. Right now.